Now to breaking news. CNN poll numbers. A post-federal indictment snapshot of the Republican race shows Donald Trump still leads, but that he has a big vulnerability, several of them actually, among Americans, even those in his own party. I want to get straight to CNN political director David Chalian at the Magic Wall. David, walk us through these fascinating new numbers.
Yeah, Dana, we are seeing a bit of softening in Donald Trump's support among Republican and Republican-leaning independents in this 2024 nomination race, even though he is still clearly the big frontrunner for the nomination. Take a look at that horse race, if you will. Right now, you see that Donald Trump's at 47% support among Republican and Republican leaners, DeSantis at 26%, everyone else single digits. But note here the change. So back in May, Donald Trump was at 53% support. He's down 6 points. That's one note of caution. How about favorability about Donald Trump? Take a look here. Now he's down at 67% favorable among Republicans and Republican leaders. That's 10 points below the 77% he was at just in May. And those that say they will never consider Donald Trump for the Republican Party nomination are on the rise. You see now it's at 23% of Republicans and Republican leaners won't even consider as an option. That was down at 16% in May. So those are all warning signs in the primary context for Donald Trump. Still, clearly, a 21-point lead is a place you'd rather be than not. In terms of the general electorate and the overall broader American audience, there's big, broad sense of approval of the federal indictment. 61% of Americans overall in this poll approve of the federal indictment in the documents case. You see overwhelmingly among Democrats, 67% of independents approve of the indictment, about a quarter of Republicans. Now, Americans do broadly see politics playing a role in this. 71% say so in this federal indictment. Even a slim majority of Democrats say politics is playing a role at this. Clearly, independents and Republicans believe that as well. A majority of Americans, Dana, 59%, nearly 6 in 10, say Donald Trump should end his campaign now due to these federal charges in the documents case. 90% of Democrats, 62% of independents think he should end the campaign now. Only a quarter of Republicans. That all gets at the question inside the Republican Party, whether or not Donald Trump is their best foot forward to beat Joe Biden in November of 2024. And what you see here is a split decision among Republicans. 51% of Republican and Republican leaders say their chances are best for victory with Donald Trump at the top of the ticket. 49% say their chances would be better with someone else, Dana.
Fascinating numbers. David, I know you're going to come over to the table. And while you do, I just want to put back up on the screen. There's a lot of numbers there. And I think it would be good for our viewers and for all of us to kind of keep digesting. Let's just go to the first one, the horse race. There you go. You do see, 47% is a big percentage of support, particularly when you have all of those other contenders in the race. But you do see slippage there for Donald Trump.
He definitely still has a grip on the party. But now I think about how DeSantis in particular has really tried in this campaign to differentiate between Trumpism, between the values of the policies of the previous administration, saying that he supports those, even galvanizing off those, but then differentiating that between the actual former president, saying I can actually do Trumpism better than Trump in a way. And you wonder, when you look at these numbers, if they provide a glimpse that that narrative and that focus that he's had is starting to soften support among Trump supporters who may say, look, yes, we did support the policies of the previous administration and we support how Trump galvanized us, but now we have various and multiple options of people that can do that. It's no longer solely Trump as an option for pushing forward that narrative, those culture wars, those policies that galvanized us in the first place.
And as you discuss this, Leanne, I want to bring back one of the other numbers that David talked about, which is his overall favorability rating. And this is just with Republican or Republican-leaning voters, 10 points, down 10 points, 77 to 67. And his unfavorable, the other side of that coin, up to 27%.
This actually goes against conventional wisdom, talking to a lot of Republicans immediately after this indictment, when they said that this indictment was going to help Donald Trump in the short term. And so this perhaps proves that maybe it doesn't. And I remember, Dana, last week when we were sitting around this table talking about how there had been a shift in what Nikki Haley and Tim Scott and others had said about Donald Trump and his indictment. They got much more critical of it. And we talked about how maybe there was something in the polling that we haven't seen yet. I wanted to know what their poll numbers are. Maybe they saw this and maybe they thought that it might be a good idea to actually attack Donald Trump instead of trying to ignore him. But it's early. We'll see.
And it may be temporary, right? This
may
is just
be.
a snapshot. We don't know yet. I think we have to look for in the future, as more polls come out, as the race continues, is this the beginning of a trend, or is this just like a moment in time that captured this softening of support for him? But it is noteworthy because for 8 years, Dana, nearly 8 years, we've been asking this question. It's like, is anything ever going to change Donald Trump's numbers? Again, I don't think this is a screaming headline in some way of Donald Trump has lost his grip. He clearly hasn't. But this is new. We haven't seen this kind of even little bit of diminishment.
So I want to not lose sight of an interview that Donald Trump did last night with Bret Baier on Fox News. We're going to talk more about it in the next segment. But this particular part is relevant to the conversation. Suburban women. He asked Donald Trump about suburban women. Listen to his response.
They usually make up all the difference in the election. And so to the female independent voter in the suburbs who struggled with family financing because of inflation, she's now against Biden, disapproves of Biden, but wasn't with you in 2020 and so far is a hard no for you in 2024. But what do you say to that?
Looking at the right polls.
What do you say to that female independent suburban voter who feels that way, to win her back?
First of all, I won in 2020 by a lot, okay? Let's get that straight. I won in 2020.
You know that this,
and if you look at all
that's
of the
not
tapes,
what
if
the
you look
vote
at
showed.
every
And then just look at this number again that David brought us before, approve of decision to indict Trump. Look at the purple, 67%. Now that's independents. It's not just women, but it's independents that matter.
Also, do you just see what just happened?
In the general election.
In the right, or into the Americans overall. But what did Donald Trump do with that answer? He was asked a question. He's a candidate for president. He was asked a question about how he's going to appeal to independent women and improve his standing, and he answered it with a repeated lie about the 2020 election. That is the problem that the Republican Party is trying to wrestle with throughout this campaign cycle, because he can't give that up, and that is what put him out of office, because it sent voters precisely the kind that Bret Baier was asking how you're going to bring in. It keeps them at bay.